becoming a pontificating YouTuber, right? So we're just out here, all right? Thoughts. Maybe I post this on YouTube. I don't know. Anyway, so this is what I was thinking. So you know, like 2K when you're playing rec, right? I know most people who watch my content are mostly my friends. So obviously, you know, I'm not saying names or anything. I'm not trying to call out anybody. But this is what I was just thinking. Okay. So if a person cuts, okay, this is my thoughts. And if you have, you know, contradictory thoughts, or you agree with me or you disagree with me, let me know. Put it in the comment section. Shout me out. Let me know. Okay. So my thought is, if a teammate cuts, okay, he cut, and now he is in front of his defender, right? His defender is no longer between him and the basket. So I have two options as a ball handler. Either I throw a pass to him, right? Click X, throw a pass. Or I throw a double triangle, right? Circle in that case is not necessary unless I'm throwing between defenders. Then it would be a circle. But just X, right? So regular pass, or I throw an alley-oop. So the positive of throwing a pass, okay, so the negative, let's say the negative of throwing a pass, right? The negative of throwing a pass is someone could tip it. But we're suggesting that my man is on me, and my teammate, whom I'm passing to, his man is no longer between him and the basket. So I click X. Someone could tip it, which is unlikely. Or the pass gets there, he catches the ball, but now because of a catch animation, it's slower for him to go up and shoot the layup or dunk, and his defender can now affect the layup or dunk, or a teammate can roll over. Is that the word I'm looking for? Rotate over, and then contest it. So it becomes a little bit more difficult for him to get the shot off, and now the shot's not there anymore. Versus an alley-oop, or an alley-oop, that's not a concern, right? You're not worried about the defense rotating over as much if you're like 5 out or something. Generally, we're not 5 out. Generally, we run one big, which I think is good. So we're usually 4 out, 1 in. But you throw the alley-oop, now there's not enough time generally for the center defender to roll and rotate over and stop the pass. And the primary defender, the defender for the guy receiving the ball, receiving the pass, is, you know, behind the play, so he doesn't have enough time to affect the alley-oop. But the problem is the alley-oop may be unsuccessful, right? Either the catch is not there, the pass is not there, or you catch it, the center is rotating over it, he didn't affect the catch, but then he affects the dunk, and now the dunk is not there, the dunk doesn't go in, or the layup doesn't go in. So what probability does there need to be for me to be confident in throwing the alley-oop? That's my question. Right? Like, I feel like I should throw the alley-oop. I should throw the pass, right? He has an advantage. We should take care of the advantage. Admittingly, I will say that my time playing quick games online, like Play Now online games, has taught me that just because there is an advantage, whether it's small or big, does not mean you have to take advantage of it unless it's a clear scoring opportunity, right? In basketball, you run plays, you run offense to try and get an advantage so that you can score. But online, because of lag and latency, there are a lot of advantages you can get. But that doesn't mean go away from the things that you know will guarantee a bucket. That's one thing I learned, so I will mention that. But back to like rec, how much of an advantage do I need to have to throw an alley-oop? How much confidence should I have in that pass? And I remember I mentioned it one time in the party, the PlayStation party, and one of the guys was like, if it's there, throw it. If it's not there, don't throw it. But I'm like, well, if it's... At the moment, I didn't understand, like, why did I feel unsettled with that idea? But now I understand, like, oh, because what defines it being there? Now, obviously, in 2K as well as in real life, you know, majority of things are not guaranteed, right? There's a percentage of probability that something is not going to happen the way you expect it to happen, right? You know, if you flip a coin, you expect the probability to be 50% or close to 50%. But if you flip it 10 times, maybe you get all 10 heads, and you're like, that doesn't match what I expect. Or you could flip it 1,000 times, and there's still a chance you get all 1,000 as heads. It's a low percentage, but there's still a percentage. And if you ever take like a probabilities class, a statistics class, which I find very interesting because it really teaches you the differences between how successful is, or how expectation works. There you go. That's the answer to the question. Expectation. Because in like the example I just gave with heads, right, in a probability statistics class, they'll say there's an expected value. There's an E of X value, an expected value. So what should the expected value be for me to do something? Now we're getting closer to the idea, I feel like. Now we're getting closer. So I'm thinking, generally among scientists and things, they say the expected value should be 95 for you to say that this test was statistically reliable and not an inaccuracy. But obviously in like 2K, you can't. Nothing is like a layup. A wide open layup is 95%. Not even a contested layup. Not even like, oh, he's on my side layup. A wide open layup is like 95, 99, almost 100%. But other than that, there's nothing that high. Except, free throw shooter shooting a free throw who has a 95 or a free throw rating. But that's a separate issue. Like, for example, you're wide open for a three. You should shoot it. You have a 93-point rating. You have an 85 3-point rating. You're wide open. You have badges. You should shoot that shot. Even though it's not going to go in 100% of the time, your expected value is... Your expected percentage, you hope, is at least 40%. In real life, that's like a great shooter. But that, what that speaks to, and that just got me the answer, is PPP, points per possession. The reason why NBA players, NBA teams and organizations get all these MIT graduates in mathematics and statistics and probability majors on their teams and change from shooting corner 2-pointers, baseline 2-pointers to baseline 3-pointers is because, one, obviously, like from a purely basketball perspective, spacing, but also from a probability mathematical perspective, there's more points per possession available there. So that's an interesting thing. So what makes a good point per possession value? I think above 1. If you're getting above 1 point per possession on a play, that is definitely a very solid play. I say 1.25 is 1.125 is maybe what you would want to get, right? That's what you would want to have out of a possession. That would be a very solid possession that you should try to replicate as much as possible. And if you're less than 1, you want to get something better. I think that's 100%. 1.125, 1.25 is what I think a good possession would be. So then bringing that back to 2K, that means that the alley-oop should have a percentage successful enough of 1.25 points per possession if I had thrown that pass, which I think is very interesting. And I think, alhamdulillah, through talking with you guys, I've come to a good conclusion about what probability I need to throw that alley-oop, what expected value I should be there. And in NBA sense, the E of X, the expectation of X, the expected value of X should be about 1.125 points per possession or 1.25 points per possession. As long as it's above 1, I think it's solid. All right. I think I'm feeling more confident and comfortable with this ideology here. All right, cool.